I've had people ask me, why spend money on the gripper when I can make my own push sticks and featherboards? The answer is simple: safety and precision. To safely make an accurate cut on a table saw, you need to simultaneously exert 3 different control pressures on the materials that you're machining. First, downward pressure. This prevents the material from rising up on the back teeth of the saw blade, a primary cause of kickback. Second, forward pressure, needed to evenly feed the stock into the cutters. And third, lateral pressure, which keeps the stock against the fence to produce a smooth, precise machining operation. Plus, you need to synchronize all of these forces without putting yourself in jeopardy. Until recently, there were only 2 types of devices used to control material being cut on a table saw: active and passive. An active device moves the material past the blade. The original active device was your hands. Nowadays, unless you're working with sheet goods, you don't see a lot of people getting their fingers too close to 3,400 RPMs of razor-sharp carbide. The traditional push stick has put some distance between fingers and blades, but it only provides force in one direction, forward. Here, we're using a miter gauge that's been checked for square in combination with angle aluminum and an adjustable stair gauge to make sure the stock receives direct forward pressure from a single contact point. The test stock is 5.5 inch wide, 3/4 inch MDF, and the push point was moved along the rail in 11/16 of an inch increments. Watch how the board reacts at each position. When the push point reaches the 4th position, it is dead center, and the board still has a tendency to wander. Even directly in line with the blade, the stock has a slight tendency to pull away from the fence. This operation would require either your other hand or a second push stick to provide lateral pressure against the fence. Both options are dangerous, and you still have no downward force to prevent stock lift and kickback. Then we come to the shoe style of push stick, a definite improvement, and although provides forward and downward pressure, it still applies very little in the way of lateral force with zero control of the offcut material. Push pads may seem like a good idea, but they're too wide to be used for narrow cuts, and they put your hands way too close to the blade. Plus, I have yet to find a push pad that actually grips the material I'm cutting. If you have to struggle to apply enough downward force to effectively control stock on your table saw, you're placing yourself in an extremely hazardous situation. Now, passive devices don't help you feed the material, but do maintain lateral force along the stock's path from a fixed position. The most recognizable passive device is the featherboard. It's an excellent source of lateral pressure. However, the obvious drawback is that it can't be used past the front teeth of the blade. Here, the lateral force would cause the offcut stock to climb the rear teeth of the blade, resulting in kickback. Even when used properly, once the stock is past the featherboard, it still wants to turn into the blade, again possibly resulting in violent kickback. We've all spent a lot of time doing one-of-a-kind setups for what should have been a simple operation. How many times have you built a jig you only used once, and now it's a doorstop or a dust collector? Wasted time, wasted materials, wasted energy, wasted money. And none of these antiquated devices will prevent kickback because their limitations are inherent in their designs. Well, welcome to the 21st century and Micro Jig's gripper, the only product on the market that combines all the advantages of active and passive devices into one easy-to-use product that eliminates kickback. The gripper's unique design has been granted a number of U.S. patents for multiple features and has patents pending on several more. The gripper is one of the most innovative woodworking products to come along in decades. It dramatically improves safety and gives you complete hassle-free control. The proprietary green grip pads, combined with the adjustable tunnel legs, feed both sides of the stock in unison, giving you the control you've always wanted. The gripper not only solves many old problems, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities, such as safely cutting tiny parts without a jig. The standard gripper is so exact that you can make repeated rip cuts down to 1/4 of an inch and as narrow as 1/8 of an inch with the optional 1/8 inch side leg. All that control, and it's like body armor for your fingers. The gripper acts as a moving blade guard, constantly protecting your hands from painful, expensive encounters with the saw blade. In the United States, surgeons have been putting fingers back on hands for over 30 years. And in 1996, the Agency for Healthcare Policy and Research found that of the 304 finger replantation cases studied in a survey, the average hospital stay was 5.5 days, and the total average charges were well over $20,000. I'd say that would make the gripper a bargain at twice the price. So, if you want to upgrade your woodworking with control, precision, and safety, get your hands on a gripper.